If you've been considering moving to the new Windows 8 operating system, I'm going to show you how to install it quickly and easily with a USB thumb drive. Okay, the first thing that we're going to want to do is to insert the Windows 8 DVD into your computer. Okay, the next step is to go to your computer and open up the drive where you inserted your Windows 8 disk. Simply highlight the drive, right-click on it, and select Open. Now you're going to see the full contents of what's on the disk. The next step is to create a new folder. In this folder, this is where we're going to store a flat copy of Windows 8. So I'm going to name it Windows 8 Flat Copy. We'll simply reposition the window, highlight the contents of what's in the Windows 8 CD or DVD, and we'll copy it over to our flat copy folder. This may take some time, but it's good to store a backup of Windows 8 on your computer, just in case something happens to your original installation disk. Next, go ahead and insert your USB stick into your machine. It's important that you're using a USB stick that is faster. I would recommend a USB 3.0 drive to maximize the transfer speeds between your computer. The next step is to open up the disk management utility. You can simply go into the Start menu and type in diskmgmt.msc. What we're going to do in the management console is we're going to prepare our flash drive to be booted from. The first step is to highlight the USB flash drive in which you want to install from. Simply right-click the drive and select Format. Now we can rename the USB flash drive whatever we want, but in this case I'm just leaving it default. We want to select the NTFS file system. We can leave the allocation unit size to default, and we want to make sure that the Quick Format option is selected. Now the drive is being formatted into the NTFS file system. The last step is we want to make sure that our USB flash drive is marked as an active partition. By default, USB flash drives are not marked as active partitions. What you can do is you can right-click the USB flash drive and then scroll down and select Mark Partition as Active. You'll notice in this example that the Mark Partition as Active field is grayed out. I have already activated this flash drive as an active partition. What this does is it allows the computer to boot from the USB flash drive. Once you have marked the partition as active, you'll see that it says Healthy, Active, Primary Partition. Now that this is done, we simply go to your computer and open up the folder in which your USB flash drive is in. Once you've opened this up, we do not want to create any new folders. Just simply copy the contents of your Windows 8 flat copy onto your USB flash drive. Now that this is copying, this is also a good opportunity to eject your installation DVD from the computer. Simply open up your computer, right-click on the DVD, and select Eject. Now that we have successfully copied the data onto our USB flash drive, we can eject the flash drive and perform a clean install on our new computer. In this example, we're going to be installing Windows 8 32-bit onto a laptop. First thing that we want to do is insert the power cord and internet cable so that we have a hardwired internet connection to the computer. The next step in the process is to insert our USB thumb drive into the laptop. Now we'll turn on the laptop and we're going to want to hit F11 for this particular computer to access the boot menu. Once we're in the boot menu, we want to use our keyboard to select our USB storage device to boot from. You can see that now we're successfully booting from the thumb drive, as you'll see the new Windows logo popping up. Now we've come to our first installation screen. We want to make sure that our language to install, our keyboard input method, and our time and currency are all set to English United States. To begin the installation, simply select the Install Now button. At this next screen, you're going to need to manually enter the serial number information for your copy of Windows. This can usually be found somewhere on the case itself. Once the serial number has been validated, be sure to read through the End User License Agreement and select the I accept license terms dialog box. At the next screen, you're going to select what type of Windows installation you want. In this case, we're going to select Custom Install Windows Only. The reason we are doing this is because we are performing a clean install of Windows onto this laptop. We're going to select Create a New Partition. We're going to leave the size at maximum and click Apply. At the next dialog box, it'll let you know that in order for Windows to work correctly, it will automatically create additional partitions for system files. So simply click OK. As you can see, Windows has automatically created a second, smaller partition to store these critical system files. Now we're going to want to install the Windows onto the larger of the two partitions. In this case, where the partition that we're installing to is Drive 0 Partition 2, which has 74.2 gigabytes of available space. Once this is highlighted, we'll select Next. As you can see, Windows is now copying and installing files onto the hard drive of the laptop. While this process is happening, Windows will restart your computer multiple times before it's ready to go. During this time, you can also remove your USB installation thumb drive from the computer. During the final phases of installation, Windows is looking at your hardware and finding the appropriate drivers for them. This is why it's important to be connected to the internet in order for Windows to automatically connect to Windows Update if needed. Once Windows has been successfully installed onto the computer, it takes you through a basic set of configuration steps before you log in for the first time. First of all, we're going to create a name for our computer. In this case, we're going to create a simple name, and I'm just going to call it Dell 8. At this next step, it's asking us to connect to the wireless network. In this instance, I'm going to connect to a wireless network later. Next, it's asking if you want to choose Express settings or if you want to customize some of the basic settings of your computer. In my opinion, it's always important to use custom settings when you're installing any operating system or program so that you can better familiarize yourself with the different options that exist. In this example, we want to turn on sharing and connect devices for home or work networks. I leave all the first set of default options as they are. I want to Windows Update to install automatically, and I'm happy with all the other settings that are here. The only setting I really like to change is I like to help Microsoft block and respond to malicious software by joining the Active Protection service. I'm happy with the remaining settings the way they are, so I leave them be and click Next. At the next screen, Microsoft asks you to create a Microsoft account and sign into your computer with that. You can do this, but it isn't always helpful if you're not connected to the internet at all times. Personally, I prefer to sign into my computer with a more traditional local account. At this next screen, I'm going to create a username and password. For guidelines on creating a safe and secure password, I have provided a link to the Microsoft Password Strength Testing tool on the description of this video. Passwords should be at least 6 characters long. They should contain capital letters, numbers, as well as special characters on the keyboard. Also, passwords should not contain any word that would be found in any sort of dictionary. The username I'm going to keep simple and call it Dell. And for the password, I'm going to create a custom secure password for this laptop. Now that your local user account has been created, Microsoft will take you through a nifty demo on how to operate the start screen on your new computer. And for the sake of time, I'm going to speed this process up a bit. Once you arrive at the start screen, Windows has successfully been installed and you're ready to go. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, comments, or ideas for future videos, feel free to share them here.